Hello, in this tutorial we're going to take a look at our micro pave cutters. Okay, so we have in the Gems Settings tab our pave cutters, and we're going to take a look at the micro pave scallop. Okay, so we're going to place it on our feature here, our gemstones inside this halo, and we're going to place it with the V-cuts. You can see the V-cuts there. Confirm. Okay, so the first thing we need to be aware of is that we are modifying two features here. Okay, we have two features that are V-cuts and our scallop cutters. So you see them both in our tweak tool, our component editor. And we can only modify one feature at a time in our tweak tool. Otherwise, we're going to be overwriting the other one. Okay, I'll show you that quickly. If I am to tweak this scallop cutter, let's just make it a 25 angle, and then I come in to activate my cutters, my V-cuts. You'll see that my scallop cutters are reset and it's been overwritten, so we can only modify one at a time in our tweak. Okay, first things first, I'm actually going to cancel out the tweak and just hide a few. I'm going to control window pick some of these components and just blank them out so we can see a bit better what's going on. And I'll blank them. Okay, so let's come back into our tweak, tools and cutters, tweak tool, pick our features, and we're going to modify the scallop cutters first. Okay, so let's make them shallow. We'll increase the width a bit, top height, and we'll see where we are. Okay, so typically with a halo or any using our scallop cutters on any bend, okay, we would want to make the inside cutters on the inside of the bend smaller than the outside of the bend. Okay, and in this case we can modify that using our tapers here. We have scallop taper 1 and taper 2. So these sometimes flip around, so I just tweak one to see which side is affecting, and I didn't see there myself. Let's try 3. That's the inside, so we're tweaking the taper on the inside, and we're going to increase this value to make that cutter smaller. Let's just increase our offset from the surface a little bit, and I might bring my angle down to 20. Okay, so we have made our inside scallop cutter more smaller, and we need to do the opposite for our outer one. Let's just in fact make this a negative number to thicken the outer cutter up. Okay, so we've tweaked our our cutters here, and I'm going to confirm. We now need to tweak our V-cuts. So we'll use the tweak tool again, pick the V-cutter, activate the cutter, and let's just see. I'm just going to reduce how much it's cutting down there. Now we can unblank all. Okay, so we can then merge these cutters and we have our removed material. Okay, so a couple of things to note here. First of all, the taper, the way we change the size here, okay, it's not always the best result. You can see how we're not really getting down to the stone here with the inside cutter. Okay, so we really need to approach that in a different way because we are limited by our parameters in the tweak tool. So we'll look at how we can use an alternative strategy here. The one thing I want to point out, however, is that if you ever want to modify your your cutters again, okay, you will know that you can just apply another tweak tool to the cutters and do it again. But I've always found that that can sometimes create complications. I do like to just modify the original tweak. Okay, if I want to change the scallop cutters, I'll modify the original tweak Do not activate it again. You'll overwrite your values. Just tweak it. Okay, make a tweak here to whatever it may be, and confirm. Okay, sometimes if I do multiple tweaks, I do find the software gets a bit confused between our parts. If we exit back into our root level, you'll see we have all of these different parts. Okay, these are all the different tweaked versions of our components. So if I do ever find any odd behavior, this is what I do. I just shift pick all of my parts, hit delete. Okay, all of our components are gone, and then I just regenerate, and the software will bring back only the components that I used. Okay, and it won't bring back all of our tweaked variations. If you now exit back into the root, you'll see that there are less parts. Okay, so that's just something to be aware of if you do ever notice any funny behavior, but if you follow the right strategy, you shouldn't need to have to do that. Okay, so if we want to make our inside cutters different, well, we need to improve them basically. They're not cutting deep enough. The strategy here essentially is to do this operation twice. Okay, and it's a bit more time consuming, but it'll get the result that you want. So in this case, I would actually merge all of these components, turn them into shapes, and erase all of the, say, the inside. Yeah, I could be using my attribute filter here to speed things up. Let me just do the combine and remove for our V-cuts. Let's say we're happy with them. Combine and remove, pick our halo operator. Let's do it this time. I'm going to use this color and pick just those. Okay, we have our V-cuts, and in fact we can do the same. We can do a combine and remove. Let's just say we're happy with our outside cutters. Oops, I did that in the wrong area. Okay, then it'll just be a case of reperforming our microparve scallop. Don't need the V-cuts this time. Tweak out inside. Let's go for 25 again here, or was it 20? Put 2, 5. Okay. Okay, so what I'll do here to make this a bit better is increase my tape. Well, no, decrease my width, I think. And I actually want a negative taper. And bring this width down even more. Let's see what we can get away with. 0.25. This may not be the best method, but it's a way to get a result here. Let's see how we're looking. Could maybe come down on my width a bit more, but let's just leave it at that. We need to merge these cutters again. Obviously erase the outside. And combine and remove the inside. Okay, so we did it in 2 steps there. We had repeated our scallop, our microparve scallop, to do the inside and outside separately and get a better result. Okay, it's not perfect. This does look a bit Does need a bit more material there. But anyway, that's one such strategy. Alternatively, you could give an entirely different tool a go, and that would be our micro pave cutters. Okay, there's a whole bunch of different cutters here, different shapes. Let's just go for the basic. Place it on our feature, and we can tweak our inside and outside a bit differently. Okay, we have end A width and end B width, so again we have to work out which is which. Okay, that's the outside. You probably want to make that larger, the inside smaller. We can change our middle width. And our bend magnitude will reduce that. But anyway, this is a quick example. You can just play around with these to get the ideal cut that you're looking for. And let's change. Well, I guess the bend magnitude is still a bit much. And we'll move it off the surface a bit. Just use the elevation. Okay, and we can use our create the V cutters separately, the split. And just move them up a bit. Okay, and then we can merge cutters. There's just one thing right now. Our V cutters merges cutters, but you'll notice that these scallop cutters do not merge as cutters. If we try, it fails. Okay, we need to merge them, merge remove. Okay, it's just more of a general operation. Okay, so that's another method for getting our cuts in there. Okay, and there's a whole bunch of different scallop cutters to play with in there, loads of different shapes. Okay, so I hope that was useful.